Hello and welcome to we're at Universal Studios in Singapore, and for the first ever time I am about to walk around the far and away section of this Universal Studios park. Now, I've never heard of this section of the park before, so I had absolutely no idea what to expect, but we have just left the Lost World of Jurassic Park. Now, that is available in its own upload within the Universal Studios Singapore playlist. So if you wanted to see everything in individual snippets, then obviously you can do. As you can see there, that does say the Yellow Cart Company, which I thought was a nice little twist. This area of the park did seem to be very busy, because when you first came in, you could not get into what is going to be the new Minions section, so everybody was sort of bottlenecking up into here and the Jurassic Park, and where the bit in the middle, where the sci-fi bit was not too bad at all, and Egypt as well was not too bad either. But if you are in to all of this kind of theming, then obviously please do let me know in the comment section below what you think. But there are lots and lots of places to eat and drink, as you can see by all the different tables and chairs, and obviously you've got all the big umbrellas and things like that. Now, we basically just do a full horseshoe shape around this park, because like I said, I have absolutely no idea what is in this. I didn't even know where to look, because it's got so much stuff up high, and they've got lots and lots of different bits and pieces down low as well. It was nice just to soak it all in. It's basically a dummy run, and then keep your eyes peeled for the full park tour, because when you know where everything is, then you can just take your time and then just walk around. But I'm only here for one day, so some lands are a little bit shorter than others, because obviously I want to try and get all the way around, do all the rides that I want to do, and then film as much as possible. But if you are a fan of Puss in the Boots and the Giant something journey, Puss in the Boots and the Giant Journey, that's what it's from. So if you are a fan of that, then obviously please do let me know. Now, I have been on some of these rides before, or similar rides with the same theming, shall I say, with regards to Shrek and things like that, but they were actually in Motion Gate in Dubai. So it does seem to be that Universal now are opening up a couple of different areas linked to this kind of thing. So it'll be very interesting to see how much further they go and what kind of IP licenses they go for, because the Dragon Ride in Dubai is just amazing with regards to how you just fly basically over everybody, then you come back in again. That's a really good fun ride. Then you have got some very fast roller coasters as well from Madagascar. Now, you would not expect the area where it's all nice and slow and little Ferris wheels to have such a fast ride, but those videos will be re-uploaded onto this channel, because that is a trip I did a little while ago, and it will be very interesting just to compare what I have seen to what I'm currently seeing now. But with regards to what we are seeing now, there are a couple of big stores as well. So as you can see, when you first come in, you've got loads and loads of merchandise to have a look at. Now, this is one of the theming of the lands that I've already been on with the ride. I think that is How to Train Your Dragon. That is the one with the big roller coaster above everything. You sort of dangle basically from the ceiling. So yes, it is as dramatic as it sounds. Now, they do, with regards to Universal Studios, seem to have a lot of hairbands as well, which is a very popular thing. I'm assuming that they are trying to compete with the sort of bunny ears from Disney, but obviously it's their own twist, which I do really like the look of. Now, again, if you're a fan of anything with Shrek or anything else under sort of, I'm guessing it's a DreamWorks banner, you can see that you've got a loads of different bits and pieces that you can go on and have a bit of fun with. And if I remember rightly, the castle from Shrek was also getting some work done. So I'm assuming that you will be able to walk from Shrek into the Minion section of the park, which hopefully by now, if this video being uploaded, is now up and ready. So if you are going to be going here in the summer of the 2024 season, then obviously please let me know how you found it, what you got on with, and did you buy any of the bits and pieces. And you can see there's loads and loads of merchandise within this section. And of course, the reason why a lot of the shops are very busy is because they are heavenly air conditioned as well, because it was unbelievably hot the day that I was walking around on here. I actually did start to get a little bit worried that the camera would start to overheat, but it held up nicely and it did do the trick. Now, this is obviously the way out from whatever show this is, but you can see all of the different doors. So there's going to be loads and loads of people coming out there. I do believe that is a big show that they put on a couple of times over the day. And then again, we're just back into the store now, and you can just see some of the other little bits and pieces. So we are getting close to the halfway mark of this video. Like I said, it's just a short loop round. I'm just gathering my bearings for the first ever times. I like to do all of these bits and pieces blind, and then if you want a much calmer, more detailed upload, it will be the full park tour video, because I actually then know where to look, what way to go, and that video will be uploaded sooner rather than later, or depending on when you're watching this, it will already be uploaded. But again, with regards to every single section of every park, there are massive photo opportunities, and this is another one as well. It will be very, very interesting to see if the ride from Dubai does come over to either the one in Singapore or the one in Florida, because there is a new land opening up in Florida sooner rather than later, which I would like to go back and visit, because I think it'll be very, very popular. So that style of ride, I do believe, will be relatively different to anything else that they've got over there currently, but it is a good bit of fun. So again, if you have been to any of the Universal Studios, would you like to see this theming at your local Universal Studios? Now, this was the busiest bit of the day. It was really difficult actually to walk through a lot of people, because everybody obviously wanted their photo taken in front of that massive castle. It did look very, very impressive, to be honest. So you basically just had to try and squeeze through people. It was coming towards almost the end of the day, so I think a lot of people also were here getting their photo taken, because like I said, if you came into the park and turned left, this would actually be the first section that you got to, and as it is coming up to the end of the day, it'd also be the last section that everybody was getting to as well. But I ended up having a bite to eat, and then I did a full park loop. I actually come back this way first, I do believe, and it had calmed down quite a bit, but I think the heat just got to quite a lot of people. But you can see you've got the Shrek sign just above, and then you've got all of the other little bits and pieces. So that is obviously one very big show that you can see loads and loads of people going into. No, I did not go into it because I just did not have the time to do it. And then again, you can see just the volume of people trying to take photos. Well, again, I've said this in every single upload, what I really appreciated is just the amount of random seating with shade. It was just nice, but you can see, you can have your essential guide to Universal Singapore. You can download different bits and pieces of the app. It let you know what was open, what wasn't. A future guide to when things were going to be shutting down. Now, if I am correct, I think you should just be able to walk in a straight line, and it would take you to the next section of the park, which is obviously closed off because they are in the process of building the minion section. But it did say that we apologise about our dust and everything. So you can see DreamWorks Shrek and the gate. Now, obviously, I'm going into this completely blind. But can somebody let me know if this is the end of this section of the park and you're about to go into a brand new section? Or is there a little bit more and they are actually painting up some of like the big castle bit or anything like that around the outside, and they're sort of merging the two together? So if you have been, it would be very, very interesting to see just exactly how they did that, because I don't know if that was literally shut because you just go through the archway, and obviously you can imagine if you're walking back in the other way, it would be the big Shrek thing that you see, but obviously you can't see that with that big gate closed. So if somebody could let me know, that would be fantastic. But it does carry on, because I was actually, this bit I had no idea it carried on this way, because going by the park map, obviously it does look like you're supposed to be able to go from one zone to another, but they do have this cut through. Now the cut through is right beside all the water, which we have seen in other uploads as well, and you can see there's lots and lots of photo opportunities. You've got all these really nice trees, you've got all this nice bit of walking, and you can just see they've got a little bit of water just there where everybody wanted their photo taken. And you can carry on walking down a little bit further. This is where all the people are walking up from. It is quite a tight walkway in certain areas, but it wasn't for that long amount of time. And there is a lot of nice little seating area a little bit further round where you can just sit yourself down and grab yourself a bite to eat as well. And again, you've got this huge amount of shade. So the fact that they had been building a whole brand new land, and we're now walking in a bit which I would imagine shouldn't have as much footfall as what it did, it still did not feel very cramped. This was actually quite a really cool area to come in. So just remember that when the new land opens up, that this bit does exist, because you could now, when the new bit opens up again, just walk all the way from zone to zone to zone and miss this very, very easily, because they did have this kind of walkway again in the Egypt section as well, where it linked you sort of around the back from one area to another. So I think this area looked really nice. You can get some really nice photos. You can see that the massive roller coasters there from the sci-fi section. And a little bit further down where I think we're going to be making our way down potentially to the end of this area, because I just wanted to explore this. This roller coaster was running, but it started to, I don't know if it stopped by now, or there just was literally nobody. Oh no, it is there. I'm talking absolutely nonsense. I'm getting mixed up with the actual theme parks in different areas of the world at the moment. So there it is. There's people on it, but there's not that many people on it. That was what I was about to say. I don't think there was that many people queuing up for this ride. Because we had already walked past the entrance of the ride. So if you spotted where it was, I think it was right beside the sign where it was closed off with the Shrek bit. So it might have thrown a couple of people, and they might not have realised that that was open, but it did look like it was a good bit of fun, and it did look quite impressive with regards to the actual ride itself. It looked like it was a long track layout, and it looked like it was a good bit of fun. And there was lots of screaming and everything like that, which is obviously the whole point. Now, those two were going full whack basically all day once they got the stalled car out the way. Yes, one of them failed to come all the way back to the beginning, and then that did take a while just to be able to get it back, and then obviously they were both running. But the nice thing is that both tracks do have a separate queue line, and then obviously you can just queue up from one to another. Everything you're seeing in the distance now, I think that is all of the Hollywood and Chicago area, I do believe. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. I'm not too sure. Still looking at the sort of the boarding, it did look like there was a little bit more castle for Shrek that had been blocked off, but obviously this area looked enormous. So that is all the Minions bits and pieces that I would imagine by now, fingers crossed for everybody, it is open and it is running. But if you have been here before it turned into the Minions, can you let people know in the comment section, or me, what this used to be? But you can just see it says opening in 2024. So this video, from the date of this being uploaded, is only about 6 or 7 weeks old, so it is still relatively recent. So fingers crossed not too much more has changed. But you can see what I mean about all the steps. You can just sit yourself down there and it's easy enough to grab yourself a bite to eat. But when this fascia comes off, it'd just be interesting to see how much wider this area of the theme park feels, because everywhere else there was loads and loads of space. It was very, very nicely laid out. It was really easy to get around into all the different shops. And obviously all the eateries and everything like that were also very, very busy. But you can see, I do like all the little Minion logos and everything on the way in. And there was some signs when you first came in to say that the far, far away area is open, but it's just a little bit further away than normal. So I'm assuming this walkway is just a little bit longer than actually cutting through the Minion area. But I don't know what rides are going to be opening up on there, but they were working absolutely flat out in that section. And you can see we've got the nice little cab just down there by the diner, and this is actually where I end up stopping to grab myself a bite to eat before I then got on some rides before the full park tour happens. But guys, that is it, and I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And comments below, how does this theme park compare to your local theme park, and what is your local Universal Studios? Are you Team Disney or Team Universal? That'd be an interesting debate in the comment section. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one. Ta-da.